You see, you spend a good piece of your life gripping a baseball, and in the end it turns out that it was the other way around all the time, by Jim Bouton. My sources are Quote Garden, Wikipedia, and I interviewed a minor league marketing rep, Annie Stoltenberg. My name's Allison Ricke, and my topic for this next speech is Major League Baseball, so I'll be speaking on behalf of the Major League Baseball Association. I'll be touching on the beginning history of Major League Baseball, the transitions Major League Baseball has made throughout the years, and touch on the minor league system as well. Most baseball fans know that baseball is God's favorite sport because the first words in the Bible say, "In the beginning." In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Proof that God is a baseball fan. Start of the MLB. So the beginning of Major League Baseball organization finally began establishing its roots in the late 1800s. The precedent was set by the National Association, with the Atlanta Braves and Chicago Cubs being the teams today that still hold roots back to the 1870s. The first game of the National League in the National Association was April 22nd, 1876, which is believed to be the start of the MLB. By 1867, there were more than 400 ball clubs in the Amateur National League under the National Association, or the NABBP. There are several other leagues that came through before Major League Baseball was actually established, such as the Players League, the Union League, things that just disbanded because of bid wars. The National Association continues to function today as the Minor League Baseball League, so it is still around, but that is why it's beneath the Major League Baseball Association. Early 1900s, there was high inflation, so from 1900 to about 1919, right before the Depression, a baseball cost around $3, which today is equal to about $40.21. So obviously it's going to be really expensive to keep multiple balls to play one game. So this is when small ball was created, as it's called today, so bunting, stealing bases, hit and run strategies, things like that were evolved because they wanted to be able to use one ball for the whole game without losing it. So the New York Knickerbockers were the first baseball team to use uniforms, taking the field on April 4th, 1849, in pants made of blue wool, white flannel shirts, which were their jerseys, and straw hats. Caps or other types of headgear with eye shades have been a part of baseball uniforms from the beginning. By the end of the 19th century, most teams had two jerseys. One is worn whenever they're at home and one is worn when they're away. Traditionally, home uniforms display the team name on the front, while away uniforms display the team's place name. There were several changes, some small and some large, that changed strategy, appearance, and other factors that continue to modernize the sport while still maintaining the baseball old school feel. And now I'll lead into transition. So throughout Major League Baseball, there's been many different things that have changed over the years. Today the MLB is broken into two leagues, the National League, which has 16 teams, and the American League, which has 14 teams. In the early 1900s, each league had 8 teams. Gradually, more teams were added, dropped, or relocated, but today the final number is at 30 teams for Major League Baseball. The designated hitter rule. So this is a rule that came into play where the American League has adopted the designated hitter rule, the DH rule. And DH basically means that the pitcher does not have to bat in the lineup. In the National League, they have not adopted this rule, so the pitchers do actually bat in their lineup. American League teams do not have to use this rule, but it is an option for them. This is not an option for National League. The year of the pitcher. In 1968, in the year 1968, the year the pitcher was established because Boston Red Sox player Carl Yastrzemski won the American League batting title with a batting average of only 301, which is the lowest in the history of the Major League Baseball Association. A couple of pitchers in the MLB earned run averages were only 1.12 that year, meaning that the teams that they faced while they were pitching, the other team only earned 1.12 runs per game, which is very low. Following these pitching performances in December 1968, the Rules Committee voted to reduce the strike zone from knees to shoulders to top of knees to armpits and lower the pitcher's mound from 15 to 10 inches beginning in the 1969 season. The All-Star Game. The first MLB All-Star Game took place in 1933 at the World's Fair in Chicago, Illinois. In 1889, the first game with an official DH took place for the American League and became a permanent part of the game regardless of the venue in 2010. the World Series host. After the highly controversial 11-inning tie game in 2002, the league that wins the All-Star game receives the home field advantage for the World Series. The league champion hosts the first 2 games and the last 2 games if necessary. The other 3 games would play at the opposing league. Never Stop Pedaling to Power Your Dreams by Terry Goulemitz. Road to the Show. So the show is basically what Major League Baseball is called because of the minor league system. They actually have a video game called The Show because of Major League Baseball. So minor league baseball is comprised of several different levels with teams in Mexico, the United States, Canada, and the Dominican Republic. The levels are Rookie, which is the introductional league, Advanced Rookie, Short Season or Low A, Advanced A, Double A, and Triple A. Not every major league affiliate has a team at each level, but they do at most of them. Each player on the team is paid the same amount, and they get a raise at each level. Most players have to live off their signing bonuses due to the amount of salary they actually receive. Most of the minor league teams did not. Most of the minor league teams, as you move up, are not going to have every single league, but once you get to the majors, you can sign contracts for different amounts. At the lower levels, the major league organization dictates on who plays so that the best players develop. The point is not for a team to win, but for players to stand out. There are different variations and reasons as to why a player is placed in a minor league system other than being newly drafted, such as rehab assignments, minor league free agency, and class system variations depending on readiness per player. In conclusion, I discussed the starting history of Major League Baseball, the transitions it has had along the way, and Road to the Show and how the minor league system works. Baseball. It's just a game as simple as a ball and a bat, yet as complex as the American spirit it symbolizes. It's a sport, business, and sometimes even religion. Ernie Harwell.